I stepped out on our porch and I was listening. Well, you know, they say, oh, did you hear a train, a proverbial train? And I didn't. I was hearing thunder, lightning, and I was hearing it sound like something passing me. But what that was debris that was out in front of the tornado that was getting pitched in front of it. It was deafening. It was a substantial noise, but like I said, I didn't hear a train. It was more like just the brutal ripping apart of everything that I own. The weather forecaster had said it was going to be bad, and they had been forecasting it all day. And we sort of prepared a little bit here, trying to get trucks all filled up because we knew we was going to have a loss of power, trying to fill all the tanks up to get them at maximum capacity. And but we had no idea that it was going to be this substantial.
I was at my house and I started getting phone calls about the tornado had hit Mayfield. We have an employee that had his wife's sister lived in Mayfield. They couldn't get a hold of her. When I called him to respond to Mayfield, I could hear his wife in the background screaming. And that was one of those moments, you know, I was thinking, my gosh, you know, this is real.
So we stay ready, we watch the weather. We knew that there was a threat of severe weather for Friday, May 16th, and we actually had a pretty good round of severe weather about midday that hit. So we had pretty well been all hands on deck working all day throughout the day on Friday, and then, you know, kind of wrapping things up late Friday evening, and midnight was when the tornado hit and really amplified the outages, the devastation. Our outage numbers, we peaked around 13,500 members out.
We was sitting there and you know, was kind of looking out, and these dark clouds was rolling in. You know, you don't think it's just another little thunderstorm, you know, and it started raining, and then it was just like, bam, here it comes. It was like you could watch it raise, you know, so it was like a 12-hour, little over 12-hour ordeal from the time that it started raising till the time it started going down. So it got about 5 foot in our house. After it's all over, you go back over there and you see all your kids' baby pictures and videos and your wedding photos and stuff that you can never get back, and they're ruined and they're gone, you know. But to see that kind of stuff and to watch your stuff float away is, I don't know how to explain it. It's a helpless feeling.
Obviously, you had, you know, people's belongings just laying in the road. You know, disastrous flooding, stuff, houses knocked off their foundations laying in the road, all of the debris and stuff that is washed up, you know, 50, 60 feet up the side of a hillside that you know it wasn't there before, just catastrophic. I mean, I've been around floods and tornadoes. It was one of the worst that I've ever seen.
We wanted to get out there as quick as we can to help.
Having that emergency action plan in place and being able to do what you need to do is instrumental, where you can act swiftly and first and foremost safely.
Well, you know, ultimately we're first responders like many of the others. You know, we all play a critical role in keeping the public safe and helping people. So, you know, when it immediately happened, right after the tornado, we sent crews out to that area to make sure that lines were clear, lines were de-energized, that power was off, because there were poles missing, wires missing, transformers in yards, you name it, and just devastation everywhere. So we wanted to make sure that everything was de-energized and safe for the public to move around and the first responders to do what they needed to do and help people.
We give our employees what we call stop work authority. So if they see something unsafe, they have the authority to shut it off, get it safe right then, you know, and that's what was implemented. Dawson Springs, the whole town was shut off.
When bad weather hits, everything's filled up. But I've already got people that I can call. They already know. We've got procedures in plan. We got radios now that we can contact EMS. They can get the word out to what we need. I can get the word, or they can get the word to me what they need.
Usually the plan doesn't ever work out the way you practice it, but if you have the baseline, it makes it so much easier to adapt and overcome. If you don't have a baseline of what to expect, then you just have a whole bunch of people working towards an unknown goal.
That night, they actually set up an incident command center locally in town, and that was emergency management, that was city officials, it was emergency responders, and all utilities. So we would all get together then, get a game plan that way. Every morning from then on, we would get together 7:30 the next morning, and we would give updates, and we'd see where everybody was at.
We'll feed breakfast to the guys that are going to help out, and we'll use that opportunity to kind of have a morning powwow of, here's the challenges of the day, here's what we're going to do, here are your goals. Make sure you're watching out for each other. Safety is huge for us. Safety is everything. So we use that to just do some safety reminders, because 16-hour days and very little sleep, it's easy to miss things, it's easy to get tired. So we want to make sure that we remind them of that first thing every day.
In all these disasters, you have to evaluate each situation. You have to stop and look, because you may actually kill yourself by trying to do something good.
One of the issues that we ran across, all the devastation that was taking place, people started cleaning up.
We couldn't just plow through everything. We had to take our time. There was bodies involved. In 2009 and ice storm, you could take a backhoe and start moving the debris out of the way. You couldn't do that in the other two tornadoes.
With Atmos Energy, safety is number one. And when we're digging around each other, we have to understand the risk of damages, and that's why calling 811 is so important.
811 was out there the whole time. They were in the field with our guys, boots on the ground, and we had an area that had a lot of underground services that got hit pretty hard. So we worked with them to make sure as we put services back in, we replaced over 200 poles in 5 days. So, working with 811 to make sure we weren't digging where we shouldn't dig was very important, and they were critical in being out there and helping us make sure everything was located.
Everything's an emergency at that point. So to get people out, to capture that we got the locate, that at least tell us what is in the area. When we give them a general address, they can pull up and say these are the utilities that are reported there.
It's everybody working together. It's not just it's not all about South Hopkins Water District, or it's not all about Atmos Energy. It's one big family.
When you've worked with these people before, when they're partners, when you've been to their homes and helped, and they come here, then you already got that trust. You already have that relationship built to where that they're going to take care of you. They're going to watch your back while you're watching theirs.
Everybody worked as a team to do what they needed to do individually, but as a group as well. We had people there at all times willing to help us. So I like to think we did the same thing for them.
That old driveway, it's all that we got left. These damn tornadoes, they stole all the rest. My favorite porch swing and the prettiest maple. If you could cry, oh Lord, I wish you would.
We had an employee say a couple days after the tornado, we've heard of a lot of tragedies, but we've also heard of a lot of miracles through this event. And, that's been really neat. And not that there's a silver lining to an event like this, but, there were a lot of tragedies, there were a lot of terrible stories, but there were a lot of miracles and a lot of stories of heroism and triumph, and just people that are lucky to be alive, honestly.
There was people everywhere, and they were always helping somebody do something. So it's kind of amazing, honestly.
The good thing is that, everybody pulled together. Everybody helped each other, and we had plenty of help from the outside to come in and just build houses back, and muck out, and it's amazing just to watch. Yeah.
You know, everything could be gone, but you know, we were there to fight another day, and so that's what we're doing.
All that devastation will take a lot from you, but it'll never take away the hope.
You can't have a memory. Oh, the wind don't blow that hard. It can't change who we are. No, this driveway's full of memories. For the rest of your life, close your beautiful eyes, 'cause it don't matter where you are. No, this driveway's full of memories.